Hey, what is up? What's happening? Ray Hayden here. Super excited for another leader interview. This is going to be amazing. And so, super excited. Busy day. We just got off a company call. I'm excited to be on this. And then tomorrow is our 10-year anniversary. Yay. So, although my sneaky snake wife did guess where we're going, so a little upset at her, a little upset. Not really, but she's just, I swear she's psychically linked to me. Like, we're psychically linked, or at least she can read my mind. I don't think I can read her mind, but she can read mine. And so I feel like I need one of those Magneto helmets or something. You know what I mean? You put it on and it blocks psychic thoughts. But yeah, she guessed where we were going, and so I was a little bummer, but I'm excited. It's going to be awesome. So what's up, Melissa? How are you? If you're hopping on here, this is one you definitely want to share. We have an incredible leader going to be on here. I'm really excited to interview her and ask her some amazing questions. So just drop me a comment that you're on. What's up? Is it Viola? Hopefully I'm saying that right. What's up? She's beaming in all the way from Australia. David in the house. Debbie, what's up? Awesome. Appreciate it, Melissa. Very nice. All right. So without further ado, let's get this part started. So this is someone who, I mean, she's been a rock star for so long. And I have, don't tell her, but I've wanted to work with her for so long. And, we just never did make it happen for whatever reason until recently. And we've, been working together here for a little bit now. And she's just awesome. I love her energy. I love her culture of how she just has such a powerful culture with her team. She is, an amazing top earner in network marketing, and someone I really respect, and I know that you're going to respect and love too. And that is Martene Wallace. Martene, what's going on?
Good morning. Yeah. We have so much going on.
So you're in Australia. What is it? 6 a.m., 7?
It is. It's 6:07 a.m. We're nice. In Queensland, so it was voted one of the best states to live in the world, and life's pretty normal up here.
Really? Because I hear Australia and I'm like, same things are okay in Queensland. Is that what you said? Queensland?
Yeah, Queensland. Yeah, Queensland is good, but yeah, there is a lot of challenges going on at the moment in Australia. But that just makes it more grateful, and people in this profession, we're the lighthouse. We've got options for people and enabling them to, make choices based on what they want, not necessarily what someone else wants for them. And
right.
Grateful for that.
Amen. Awesome. So, and I don't feel that bad because you have me doing a training at 5 a.m. my time. So I kind of don't feel bad here. I'm just letting you know. That's my meditation time. But tell us, how did you get started in network marketing? Like what brought you in?
Okay. So I got started in October, actually was my 8 years in network marketing. So initially I thought it was for people who couldn't get a job. I felt sorry for anyone involved, and I pretty much thought they were losers. And here's me at the time. I'd followed all society's rules. So go to school. My mum always told me either get a trade or go to uni and get a degree. And if you're lucky, you'll get a good government job. And now sort of seeing what's happened over the last few years, I understand my mum's mentality of getting a government job. Although the last 6 months, I'm really grateful I don't have a government job. So that was kind of how it started for me. My last job was as a clinical nurse manager, and I was working 50 to 60 hours a week. I had 3 kids under 5, and I also was completing, I had the last half of my last 2 subjects of my master's in critical care to go. And it was like the turning point was I missed my son's first birthday, and it hit me to the core. I got really, really mad. And I realized that if I didn't make some changes, I was going to be in the exact same position for the next 40 years. And many of my years nursing, I worked in intensive care. So I knew that life was short. I knew that we all are going to go to the same place eventually. And I wanted to have a good time. And Yeah. So for me, I was introduced at my best friend's wedding by the makeup artist. English was her second language.
I love
And
it. By the makeup artist. That's a
yeah,
clever makeup artist.
yeah, and I was just curious. So I was like, now I wouldn't sign up initially. It's like I enjoyed nothing. So I paid cash. I transferred her money to get my first product. And then it was a couple of weeks later that I actually went, all right, I'm in. And I joined at the absolute lowest level. And because it was about 10 years ago, maybe 11, we actually had a business deal that we went in. And for years, I couldn't talk about this because I had so much shame around it. But I went in with my family. We lost $200,000. And that was $200,000 I didn't have. And it was my mum's mortgage because she lent it to us. So that was my rock bottom. No one knew about that. And so many people don't go and talk to people because it looked like from the outside, we were society celebrated that my kids were the first at daycare, the last to leave because I was a nurse and I was doing what's so acceptable. And then, so it was a journey for me. And it was 6 months of using the product before I got my ego out of the way. I was curious. I was just scared because I didn't understand and all the misconceptions. And that's why I'm so passionate about this space. And I've been challenged and stretched and extended, but I will be here for life because of what it does for average people to enable them to transition out. So it was that sort of missing my son's birthday. I was in that 5-6 month mark. My husband was an area manager with one of the big banks. So he spent 3 months trying to find something wrong with it and was mortified for a little bit that his wife's running around town telling everyone they're going to change their life. And I could help them make all this money. And I was excited and passionate and didn't have a lot of skill. And so for me, the first few years was just hard work because that's all I'd known.
So you didn't have instant success. What was the first few years like?
Well, for the first 6 months, I just recommended the product and I would actually buy it in bulk. And I had a money story, so I wasn't comfortable making money. And I just knew the product would help other people like it did me. So I literally would buy it in bulk. I would work out the conversion rate because we get paid international fees here and everything. Then I would divide it by how many I bought, round it down and sell it for cash. So that's kind of my husband's like, what are you doing? So it was a journey. Then once I decided to go in, because I'm someone who I don't do shit by halves. If I'm in, I'm in. And you either come with me or you get out of my way. And I've kind of been like that.
You don't do what?
I don't do shit by halves.
Ship my halves?
No, shit. S-H-I-T. It's not a swear word here.
I've never heard that term. Shit my halves? That's awesome.
We need a translator. But from when I went all in, I didn't even know what I'm doing. I didn't have any real mentors or anyone that knew what they were doing. I just knew when I would do, because I built old school initially in everyone's home. So I would do some weekends, 8 presentations in a weekend. I would go Friday night and then I would do 3 or 4 on Saturday and then 3 or 4 on Sunday. And I was like, and everyone would join. So I was like, oh my God. So I actually took 6 weeks leave without pay. I went in and said to my boss and I said, look, I need to take some time off. And I just did what I called a 6-week blitz. And that was at the end of that 6 weeks, I'd actually replace my full-time clinical nurse manager on income on a weekly level. So I'd hit, that 2.5 plus a month. And because I earned right on 6 figures as a nurse, Australian, and it's never gone back from there. So we've been able to retire my mum, taken care of her for the last 6 years, travel. I'd never been anywhere but New Zealand because I married a Kiwi. And now we've taken our kids to 19 countries and we've traveled Australia full time for 18 months.
You've taken your kids to 19 countries. That's amazing. That is so cool.
So we had a dream to teach them geography, history, and culture through experiencing it, not just through the internet and magazines and stuff. And it's been the best. It's literally, I didn't realize this type of life was possible for people like us.
Wow, that is amazing. That is so cool. So after So you did this initial, like, just blitz of anyone local, people that you knew, etc. Was there a point where you turned to social media, or like what did that look like?
Yeah, so the start of my social media journey is quite cute. You'd pretty much think I was the product. I was like Spammy Sue. I sent those long messages. It's pretty much a whole presentation, old school style messages with
Right.
like 70 before and afters. And sometimes it still haunts me, like someone I haven't spoken to for years, and obviously they ignored me. And it'll come up as the last message, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry about that message, but I was excited. And, so I've pretty much made every mistake that you can make. And I learned most things the hard way, but it's powerful. And I always showed up online. And once I kind of started learning that I'm not actually the product, I'm me. And it's just a part of something that I offer.
Right.
We started using Facebook groups. And so we have built, and then we kind of blended. So we did a combination. We still did the in-home stuff, but we added everyone that came to the in-home staffs into our Facebook group, which that one we grew to about 50,000. Then in December, we started a new, and in December, we started a new Facebook group, and we've grown that to just over 45,000 since December. And when the pandemic hit, we went solely online. And I used to have this limiting belief of you can't actually totally build it online. You can't. It doesn't work. Like we've tried, and we just hadn't tried solely online because we hadn't had to.
Right.
But now we've seen it go even quicker. And the reason I've wanted to work with you for years, and the reason I haven't, is because your time zone in Florida compared to Australia is brutal.
Right.
But the gap I see for us is marketing, and joining your Millionaire Roundtable was the best thing ever, because it's enabled us to think a different way and really embrace the new school of network marketing. And I'm so excited to implement all that in the team, because we build online and we do amazing and we have duplication, but I know that we can actually do it better to enable people to go faster that don't have as much time, that aren't full-time like us.
Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate you saying that. So are you seeing more and more people like wanting to work from home, wanting to to do it online, or do you still have a lot of people that want to do it more traditional, or what are you seeing there?
We've gone full circle.
Yeah, so like more people want to do it on social media, right?
100%. And I mean, I think about it now, and I worked 50 to 60 hours, which is like, all I've known is hard work. And I grew up, we had a humble upbringing. Like we were told we can't afford it. And I actually played elite soccer. I played soccer for the Australian schoolgirls, and my parents really struggled to pay for all that. We had help of grandparents and aunties, and I never missed out. But my mum, when I played for Australia, she couldn't come because she had to work and they couldn't afford it. And so the reason I've always worked hard, and from when I was 14, I've always had 3 jobs, is I never wanted to tell my kids they couldn't do something because they couldn't afford it, because I couldn't provide that for them. So I was just determined to work hard to provide so we didn't have to struggle. But what I've realized is I'm part of like the 0.001% that will go and just like sacrifice, or what I now see is invest, so that give up what I like so that I can have what I love. And once I understood the leverage that comes with this, and I was like, what? People making 20 grand a week just selling shit and helping other people sell shit? So I was like, let's go. What do I need to do? And I love helping people, and this is helping people on steroids. So we have literally gone full circle, and we're nearly too cool for... Like we've become those people that I used to resent. And I think it was just, I was jealous. I just wish I knew how to do it, but like, we don't do old school. Sorry. It's 2021.
So I'm curious, do you get a lot of haters online? Do you have people like, bash you? If you do, I would assume you do. How do you handle that?
So I like to call them confused admirers. So yeah,
you say that to them.
Yeah. I've grown a lot. I used to do passive aggressive posts and be like, next to me BMW, and I'm taking my kids overseas now, like enjoy your job type, which I cringe at now, but I understand it was that I was a battler. I was a warrior, I was just, and it's like, it nearly was my fuel. It was like, I'll prove you wrong. Like, tell me I can't do something and then I'll just do it 10 times. So I've learned a lot. And one of my favorite humans is actually a top income earner in another company in Australia. She's probably the top income earner in network marketing in Australia. And we met by chance, and what she's taught me, and there was two things. One was hurt people. And then I realized it's just they're projecting all their crap onto me. And deep down, they probably wish they had the courage to go after it and just be themselves, because I'm a hot mess. But I just embrace that. And something in our culture is like, come as you are, you're enough. It doesn't matter if you're a bit rough around the edges. Just be true to you and do the best that you can. The other thing that she taught me is they're doing the best they can with what they have. Yeah. And that is one of the most powerful things that I've ever learned. And so whenever they come at me, and they do, and I mean, we travel and we have a ridiculous setup and we've just upgraded it. And a lot of people shame that. It's nearly in Australia like an honor to have nothing. And if someone does have something,
morally and ethically, if you're dead broke.
Yeah, so I like speaking out about that, because it's like, stop shaming people that have no shit. Like, they work hard, celebrate it, and draw inspiration. So the tall poppy syndrome here is huge, but I had it in soccer, I had it in nursing. So I feel all of that was a warm up for what was going to come at me being in this space, being part of a pyramid scheme and a scam. Right. And I had someone the other day tell me that I'm an idiot. And it was actually quite funny. I was like, oh, okay.
So I love that. I love both of the points that you share. Hurt people, no doubt. And, they're doing the best with what they have. I mean, that's something that, when we're coaching, that's what your parents did too. Right. So our parents, they did the best they could with what they had, with what they had experienced. Usually my approach, not always, but usually my approach, like when I get a hater, is, hey, I used to be just like you. I totally get it. And, and it's true. I used to hate on him. Who's this guy? And so I used to be that, curmudgeon troll guy too. And so, but I did recently, I think you'll like this one. So one guy commented on my Facebook reel, and he said, I wish this video had a dislike button. And I said, it's actually voice activated. You just have to say dislike. So I'm fingers crossed that he tried that. I don't know, but usually I'm better.
Yeah, occasionally I try not to argue with fools, but occasionally in Facebook groups, because I do a lot of cold market in the Facebook travel groups, and people they're all like, oh, I want to, how can I fund my trip? I want to travel. And then it's literally like, this is an invitation for network marketing haters. Please comment below. So I write a bit of a novel, but I acknowledge that I used to think it was people who couldn't get jobs, and I felt sorry for them. And then I just share a bit of my story, and I've actually recruited a lot of people from it. So by acknowledging, because network marketing does have a lot of improvement it can do. And, I think about when I started, how cute, I could use that word, I was. So I acknowledge that it is far from perfect, but hands down better than any other way that I've seen to generate a significant income, but still, it's like what I call have your cake and eat it too, and only baking it if you want to, or getting someone else to.
Yeah. I love it. And I do think that's an important message of, if you're the people out there, using hype and saying how easy it is and anyone can make money and you don't have to sell anything and all this stuff, they're just hurting the profession. I mean, I'll tell people, hey, most people don't have what it takes to do the work. But if you do, this is an amazing option versus a lot of the other options that I was a part of. And so that's great. One thing that we're working on is you're one of the leaders we're working with for our white label system. And so like, I'm pretty excited about that. Like we're fired up about it. I think you are too. What makes you, I mean, you built using Facebook groups and stuff. What's made you want to seek an alternative to having your team in a Facebook group, if that's how you like built and stuff?
So I've never been more excited for anything ever. It's like
Wow.
literally everything I've kind of dreamt about creating for the team, because it's all about helping the average person that doesn't have a lot of time. Like I think back to how I was when I started. How can we make it simple for the majority to earn an extra $1,000 a month? Because that's life changing for most families, and it's what most people want. Not everyone wants to change the world, like I do, and that's completely okay. Right. So there's a few things. Facebook is rented land. When I heard that, it like literally echoed for me. So you can get shut down. I've just had a dear friend of mine deplatformed on Instagram. Like it's not yours, and it can get taken away at any time. And then
especially nowadays. I mean, that was always true, but especially nowadays.
Yeah. Oh, it is. The sun's coming up. That's how early it is here. But it's so bad. Like, and people, there's a lot of people. And I mean, if Facebook took our group away that has 45,000 people, like that is where we have hundreds of cold market people funneled into that group every single day across the team. If Facebook takes that, it wouldn't stop us because we built old school. So we could still go and figure it out, but it would it would take the wind out of our sails on a massive level. So, and then also then our Facebook group that's for the team and the community, like we spend hours putting all the stuff in units and having it all laid out. And then Facebook just decides it gets rid of it or makes it guides and it's like, where's it all gone? And so then it's all a mess. And what we find, because we do have people getting recognized so much and new people being welcomed, it gets really, really messy. And for a new person who's time poor, and most of the people we bring in have never done anything like this on before, they're trying to figure out social media. What do I say? What do I do? That it leads to them getting overwhelmed because they can't find the information. So, and then also when they're meant to be working, they get distracted with all the notifications and everything else going on. Right. So I'm that excited. Awesome. It's just, I know what it's going to do. And we've kind of done bits and pieces like this before. We've built our own websites. We've had other platforms and stuff like that. But this one and the extras that you get with it, the time that it's going to save is massive. And then like the strength I see, one of your strengths is marketing, which is a huge gap for us. So combining all of that, it's one of the best investments I've made in personal development and in my business and myself for a long time.
That's awesome. And I just want to recognize we have a few rock stars on here. We got Brandon and Lynette on here saying, talking about you're a rock star. Emma Savage, which I love her last name. It's so awesome. But yeah, they're just giving you shout outs. Well, I really appreciate it. I know you're busy and it's super early and you got 52 kids and you got a lot of stuff going on. So I just really appreciate you coming out here, sharing your story, inspiring some people. I love, so many different takeaways, that, hey, this is a way for people to take control of their life and if they want to make ridiculous money, hurt people, just so many good takeaways. And so I just really appreciate you. I'm excited I know I'm doing a team training for you at some point early morning, but I appreciate you so very much. And thanks for coming out here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Martene, everybody. Martene's amazing. Awesome. Well, appreciate you. And if you got value from this, feel free to share, drop her some gratitude, give her some love, coming in all the way from Australia, early morning. And so we appreciate you so much. All right. Bye for now.